Hi, this is Phil from PDQ Merchant Enterprises and ATM Mastermind Group page, and in today's video, we'll be talking about the top 5 banking issues you're going to have when you get into the ATM business. Always remember, here at PDQ Merchant Enterprises and the ATM Mastermind Group page, we buy your freedom back one transaction at a time. All right, so here we go. The top 5 banking issues that you're going to have when you get into the ATM business. Point number 1. All right, so you took a long time to get a bank account. Now you finally get a bank account. You talk to a branch manager. Branch manager is all okay with everything. You're going to open up your account, and you do open up your account. And then what happens is the branch manager leaves. And now the teller or somebody in the bank is telling you, you can no longer do business in the way that you were doing business. What do you do? So I'm going to tell you exactly what to do and how to handle the situation, but I'm going to leave it to the end of the video. So buckle up, and here we go for point number 2. Point number 2. So in the ATM business, it's very tough to get a bank account. So what are some of the things you can do to ensure that you get a bank account? One of the things that we do for all the people to help them get a bank account is we vet them, and then what we do is we give them a letter from us that says that you've been personally vetted by PDQ. Okay, and we share a letter from our sponsor bank that says the sponsor bank has personally vetted us. This helps, doesn't guarantee it, but it also helps get you a bank account. The other thing that we do that has been very successful is we work with you and we give you a processing agreement. Now you take that processing agreement, you give it to your bank, and that also helps you get that account. A lot of times what the bank is looking for is they're not really interested in doing a startup, even though you guys are a startup. They want to see that you're already doing business. Gives them that warm, fuzzy feeling. I don't know why, but that's been the big shift. So how do you say to me, Phil, how do I open up a bank account? I have to get the bank account first and then get the bank account and then get the location. So the bank wants to see that you're already established in business. This doesn't make a lot of sense, but this is the trend that the bank has been going. They want to see that you're already in business before they give you a bank account. I know it doesn't make a lot of sense, but that is what the trend has been. It helps get that bank account. So we've been helping you get that by giving you guys a processing agreement. And now you're ready to give the processing agreement to the bank, and the bank is ready to do business with you. So that has been a surefire way to get in bank accounts. So just keep that in mind when you're getting the bank account, that they might ask you for a processing agreement. So you should already have one in place. Point number 3 is open up 3 business bank accounts. All right. The bank doesn't like you commingling funds. So even if you get the bank account open, now you only have one. You got your general checking account, you got your surcharge, and your vault cash, and it's all going into one. Now you're moving money in and out of the bank. The bank can't keep track of that. They get very nervous. They don't know if you're laundering money. They think that you might be. They got all kinds of protocols to go against that. You want to stay away from this. So how do we do that? We learned a long time ago, we have 3 bank accounts. We have the general checking account. That's where you're going to write checks in and out to pay for whatever you got to do. You got to pay for your car payment, your cell phone. You're going to have to pay for, if you want to buy ATMs, whatever you need to buy, you'll do that through your general checking account. The second account is the surcharge. That is where your money, when you make the money from the ATM, that'll go into the surcharge account, and then you transfer that into your general check account. I like to have this account set up. It's not 100% necessary. Guys ask me, and women, do I need 3 bank accounts, Phil? Can I just do it 2? You could. For me, I like that. It makes it easy to reconcile my general checking account. Because now I'm doing this once a week. I'm just moving a block of that money into my general checking account, and I'm labeling it as surcharge income. But you don't necessarily need that if you want to see those deposits coming in every day and you want to reconcile that way. For me, it's just a lot to reconcile. I just want to back that out, and I just do a deposit once a week. It makes it easy for me to reconcile, and I don't need to reconcile my surcharge account, but you guys can do it however you want. But I always recommend having 3. And the third one is the vault cash account. Now that vault cash account, that's what we named it. That's the money when somebody takes out $100 or $200, it goes into the holding account until the end of the day, and then it is deposited into your business bank account, and what I label it is the vault cash account. Now I know that's my number that I'm continually taking from the bank, putting in the ATM, and it goes from the ATM back into my bank account in the 24-hour period, except on nights and weekends. or holidays and weekends, but you'll get that money back next business day. So that's where we get the three: general checking account, surcharge account, and again, what I call bulk cash account. Point number 4, sometimes you'll be talking to a banker and they'll say, oh, it sounds like you're an MSB. We don't put MSBs, we don't do business with MSBs. Now you have to convince them, more like educate them, you're not an MSB. I would have a definition what an MSB is for you guys just starting out. MSB is a money service business. A lot of banks think because you're in the ATM business, you're a money service business. You are not a money service business. You are not selling currency, but this is what they think to label you as, and you're dealing with somebody who's not familiar with an ATM business. So don't get upset when you just realize, you know what, I'm not dealing with somebody who understands the ATM business. Sometimes you'll have to talk to maybe you were talking to a customer service rep at the bank. Now you might have to talk to an assistant manager or a branch manager to help with this to get you an account. All right, so just keep in mind that you're not an MSB. Point number 5, sometimes you're talking to the teller. You're asking the teller, hey, can I open up an account? Can I do this? You know what? The teller doesn't make the rules. They follow the rules. And a lot of times tellers might call you and on the phone, they will tell you different things and you have to comply, but they don't know why you have to comply. So I always push back a little and I said, look, tell me what's the situation. And then what we find out is that, you know what, somebody up in the bank told them what to do, but until they give me all the reasons why I need to do what they want to do, I don't give them any information. The teller, they like to boss you guys around a little. They like to tell you what to do. I make friends with all the tellers. I suggest you do too. But at the end of the day, they want to tell you what a branch manager told them to tell you or gave them information. Just keep in mind, the teller isn't the boss. The teller isn't the person who makes the rules. They just try to tell you, and then you always push back, well, who told you this? And a lot of times it's an assistant manager or the teller MOD, manager on duty. So you just got to figure out, hey, how do I handle this situation? Always push back, go talk to the branch manager, and make sure it's a face-to-face conversation. It makes things a lot easier. All right, so now we're going to go back to point number 1. So point number 1 was, I get the business bank account and now the manager changes and they want to shut my account down. How do I handle that? This is how you handle that. When you get the account from the manager, make friends with the system manager. Make sure that the manager fills in the system manager exactly what they're doing. Make sure that you know the system manager and you're on a first name basis. That way, if that manager leaves, the system manager understands the way the business is done. All right? And then you won't lose your account. Now, sometimes, oh, I didn't think of that, Phil. I didn't make friends with the assistant manager, and now they want to shut my account down. What do I do? Well, now what you do is you go and you have a meeting with the branch manager. You say, look, maybe they want to shut you down because they think you're an MSB. I'm not an MSB. This is the rules that we follow. I've been in this bank for X amount of time. What is the issue? What is the situation? And talk to that new manager. That new manager might not understand the situation and not understand how you're a valuable partner with the bank or a customer at the bank. So you got to have a meeting with them to understand your business, and then they can understand it and we can continue as business as usual. Now, one of the things that you guys always got to remember is $3,000 is pretty much the magic number that the banks, that they will write you down in the book. And what happens is every time you take out $3,000 or more, they write your name in the book. If you do that 5 times a week, then you know what? 5 times a week, the bank is going to see that you take out $3,000 or more. They'll write your name down in the book. Now what happens is somebody higher up says, why are they taking all this cash? I don't understand this. And you have to rely on that relationship with the branch manager to tell the board of directors or the hires up who you are, what you represent, and how you do business. And a lot of times it's just somebody that says, oh, I don't want to handle this. This looks scary to me. And they say, hey, you can't take out in cash. So what you want to do is you want to make friends with the branch manager, make friends with the system manager in case that branch manager leaves, and that way we can continue business as usual. Sometimes you might need to, if it's a local small bank, which I always encourage you guys to do, you might need to sit down with not only the assistant manager and the manager, but the higher ups of the bank, president, vice president, somebody of that nature. You might have to sit down with them and have a meeting and then say, this is what I am, so we can continue business as usual. A lot of times when they get audited, and they get audited every year, you know what? ATM business is a little scary for them. And so you got to make sure that, hey, you're a valuable customer and a partner in the bank, and you want to keep business as usual. So sometimes you might want to take another step up and say, hey, can we have an annual meeting or once, twice a year and meet with the vice president and president so they can understand your book of business, just because we don't want them to shut your account down. Now, if they say, hey, we give you 30 days, we get this, and they won't even let you take any money out, then you know what? You might want to set up another account in a different bank, and that way you can wire the money and you can eliminate that bank. And I highly suggest that you open up, once you guys get rolling, open up the first bank account with this bank, and always be looking, kind of like you're looking for ATM locations, for another bank. Open up another bank account with them, just put the minimum in there and have that relationship going. Talk to them maybe on a monthly basis or quarterly basis, just to keep them as a back burner, because if the bank account shuts down and you can't get access to funds, then you're in trouble, and we don't want that to happen. So always have a backup plan when you're dealing with the bank. If you're interested in starting your ATM business, I want to invite you to my free training entitled How to Set Up Your Own ATM Business Before You Buy Your Very First ATM, where I'll share with you things you need to know before you buy your very first ATM, so you can start your ATM business the right way and avoid mistakes along the way. You'll discover how the ATM business works and income you could possibly earn explained in detail. How to set up an ATM business and what category you need to register under, how to open up a bank account for your ATM business. Plus, I will show you how to talk to banks professionally so you feel confident and prepared when talking to them. Click the link below to register for this free training. Others charge for this training, but I'm giving it to you absolutely free for a limited time only, so click the link below. Again, this is Phil from PDQ Merchant Enterprises and the ATM Mastermind group page, where we buy your freedom back one transaction at a time.